Miss Smith? Miss Veronica Smith?
Well, yes, that's me, but what on earth do you want at this hour?
Put her into the car, Reynolds.
Look here, I was just going to bed. Who are you? Where are you taking me? Will you let me go? You can't do this sort of thing. It's outrageous. Look, what have I done? Tell me what I've done.
What you and your lot are capable of doing.
Look here, I'm
Shut
going
up.
to see a lawyer.
Lock her up with the rest.
I haven't done anything. I tell you, I haven't done anything.
Lock her up.
What? Right. That's 19 in the bag now.
No trouble so far.
Everything going very smoothly, thanks to that list that you'll find at the Hydro, Mr. Harris.
What will happen to these people?
Well, the first thing to do is to stop them being got at by the signal again.
Now, we know the second signal is due in 3 days' time. We're going to try to jam it from here.
Well, if you can't jam it from here, you can't jam it from anywhere.
Yes? A talent for you again.
Thank you.
Sir Geoffrey, if you manage to stop that signal getting through, they'll become normal people again. Well, the effect of the first brainwashing is beginning to wear off already.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
as soon
hope
as
it
possible.
is.
Can you do it, Sir Geoffrey?
I think so. The only trouble is we don't know the frequency.
We should have them all by this afternoon. I might have just picked up 2 more.
Most satisfactory.
Maybe we can start unwinding again. Somehow, I never thought it would end like this. I thought Drew and I would go on forever tracking them down on our own.
Just what is this building, Sir Geoffrey?
Special branch of the post office. Not sure I ought to tell you any more than that. Talon isn't just security-minded, he is security. However, seeing your position in all this, let me show you something. Ah?
Selwyn Pugh?
Yes, now look here.
Little Riding's Monk's Frisborough, that right?
Look, you know damn well your thugs
Turn out
came
and
for
pocket.
me. Now, wait a minute, I know my rights.
up.
Look, you can't hold me here. Damn you, let go of me.
Boots, laces not wearing any, have that belt and tie.
What are you doing? What are you taking those for?
We're careful.
Look, I don't know who you are, but I'll have you for this. I'll have you.
You know much better if you don't make a fuss. Now go along quietly with this officer.
I won't go anywhere quietly. This is a blasted outrage.
Who is this?
Pugh, sir.
Look, are you in charge here? Will you tell this moron to take his hands off me?
You don't want to get hurt, do you?
What?
If you struggle, anything might happen.
Are you threatening me? But this is incredible.
Just get in that room and keep quiet.
I demand to know what this is all about.
It'll soon be made very clear to you, Pugh. Now, just get him out of my sight.
They're not supposed to be their fault, is it, sir? They're hypnotized or something, aren't they?
Not too much of the kid glove stuff, Reynolds. They're still traitors.
Ah, a complete jamming station.
Every great power has them, you know, and this one's equipped to operate even after atomic fallout.
Good morning, Sir Geoffrey.
Yeah, Mr. Killick, my assistant, you know the Hediot's part in all this. Well, Mr. Killick, do you think the station can cope?
Well, let's hope so, sir.
This is the scanner used to locate the strength and direction of the signal. Now, that information is fed automatically into those computers, and they give us the strength and frequency needed for jamming the signal.
How long will that take?
What do you think, Killick?
Well, from the moment the signal starts coming through, I should say less than a second. This is the transmitter lock-on device.
Oh, same as used in wartime radio jamming.
Same principle, yes. In fact, I designed some of the earlier equipment myself when I was an engineer. Nowhere near as sophisticated as this stuff, of course.
What happens when you jam a signal?
Well, it's like putting a fan in front of a jet of water. It gets broken up into disconnected fragments.
Well, isn't it possible the signal can still get through by using increased strength?
Theoretically, yes, but the jamming station always has the advantage. And in this case, the distance involved is so great that the time factor makes it impossible. You heard it stated at the Hydro that the signal was already on its way. It's probably been traveling towards us through space for months.
So we'll never know where it originated from.
Probably not. This is the power arc. The power is fed up this shaft to dipoles on the roof.
I shouldn't get too close. That grid is designed to take 500,000 volts.
Ah. Yes? This is Sir Geoffrey Tillinger. What? Yes? Really? I see. Right, thank you. Well, Mrs. Heriot, it seems we haven't finished with you yet.
What do you mean?
I'm to take you both over to Downing Street. Prime Minister wants to thank you personally.
Darling, I can't go like this.
Strictly informal sherry.
finished, I hope.
Yes, that ought to do it.
Makes such a blasted racket, that thing. Gives me a headache. Doesn't it ever affect your ears? Deafen you?
The sound hardly gets through to me.
How long do you think we can hold him, sir?
As long as necessary, Reynolds, as long as necessary.
Well, they keep asking what the charge is.
This lot can scream as loud as they like. They've got no rights.
Yes, I know, but if they come in...
No human rights. That's what I was told. Decide for their lawyers.
Which you expected?
Yes, even ordinary political prisoners do once they get their nerve back. But don't worry, they won't be allowed any outside contact whatever.
Have any of them said anything yet? Admitted to being undermined?
Not so far. It's funny, you know, they're not what I expected.
In what way?
Don't know, really. They seem so ordinary.
Well, they were ordinary people at one time.
Except for their hearing.
It's the fact they seem so ordinary that makes them so dangerous.
Human robots controlled from outer space. A week ago, I would never have believed it. Oh, well, mustn't keep the PM waiting.
He wants to see you too, Talon.
The whole thing is now a security operation. Talent here is in charge. Under the Official Secrets Act, I suppose. Official Secrets Defense of the Realm, heaven knows what. What? Right. That's 19 in the background. No trouble so far. All going very smoothly, thanks to the visit you'll find to the Hydro, Mr. Harriet. What happened to these people?
Very busy today. Managed to squeeze you in between the president of the Board of Trade and the Guildhall matron.
I didn't think he'd know so much. About Undermind.
Yes, I made a full report. Talon took it from there, and I dare say the Home Secretary briefed him.
Another sherry, anyone?
No thanks.
Yes, please.
When this signal arrives, Geoffrey, will you be able to locate its source?
Ah, everybody asks that. I think we all hope there are people in space.
Not if they're like the people they've brainwashed.
Yes, we shall try to find the source, but I doubt if we shall succeed.
Very disappointing.
Anyway, the source is so far away, it's hardly worth finding.
How far away would you say?
Alpha Centauri is the nearest star to our own system, and that is over 4 light years distant.
Light years,
The distance light covers in a year.
186,000 miles a second.
Slightly more, according to Michelson's standard.
You mean to say the signal would reach Britain after travelling all that way?
Incredible though it seems, yes.
Surely it indicates a very advanced civilization, Sir Geoffrey.
Well, they certainly know more about electromagnetics than we do. But there is a sub-millimeter gap in the spectrum, which we've never been able to use, though we know it exists. Now, using highly developed harmonic generators on the maser principle, it's already theoretically possible to cover such a distance.
Oh, excuse me. Dr. Raisin? Yes, he's here. Oh, good. Yes, I'll pass that on. Thank you. Your men have just brought in the last Undermind, haven't you?
18 hours from start to finish. Not bad.
Then it's all over.
Bar the jamming.
I can't believe it.
If I were you, as soon as the inquiry's over, I'd take a holiday.
Yeah, we're planning to do just that.
Has a date been fixed for the inquiry yet?
Next Tuesday. In camera, of course. We don't want to alarm the public.
Oh, it's bound to leak out eventually, isn't it? You only need some of the relatives of the people you've arrested to start kicking up. The newspapers will start asking questions.
None of this will get into the press.
The whole thing has been put on the D list.
There's one thing I'm not clear about yet.
What's that?
What'll you do if they try it again?
Don't quite understand.
Well, if you jam this signal, these people will be freed, won't they? They'll be normal again, but they'll still have freak hearing.
Yes, that's perfectly true.
So they might be got it again at some time in the future. They can't be guarded indefinitely.
I couldn't bear it if it started all over again.
And I can't see anything to stop it.
That question has been considered.
Has it?
Once we've averted the immediate danger, measures can be taken to prevent any possible recurrence.
What measures?
New regulations will have to be passed. That seems almost certain.
You can't legislate against alien radio signals, Mr. Raisin.
No. But you can prevent people from being able to hear those signals by corrective surgery.
You'd operate on all of them?
In the interests of national security. I understand the operation would be quite a simple one.
Now, perhaps you'll believe me. I couldn't have been at the Hydro. I only got back from Portugal yesterday.
I'll look into it.
Look, I refuse to be held here like a criminal. Do you hear me? I refuse.
said I'll look into it.
Oh, lad, you just can't do this
I
sort
got
of...
my orders.
It's like the Gestapo.
That's right. Just like the Gestapo.
I never thought we'd be standing here looking at travel brochures.
Where do you fancy?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, there's a beach and sun all day long.
Suits me. I'm going to do some skin diving. I'll teach you if you like.
All right. Where's the best place?
Well, Spain, Corsica, the Dalmatian coast. Take your pick.
I've no idea. Corsica.
Corsica it is. I tell you what, before we actually book, let's look at some underwater equipment. There's a special department here. Well, what should we get?
What will happen to them?
Who?
Well, those people, will they be prosecuted for the things they've done?
Our intelligence says it's unlikely. They weren't responsible for their actions. It'll all be hushed up.
I wonder when they're normal again, if they'll remember.
Look, Anne, it's over. Let's stop talking about it, shall we?
All right.
Boo.
I don't have to wear one of those, do I?
Well, you can only go on blowing bubbles for so long, you see.
Imagine seeing people again without wondering about them.
Yeah.
People enjoying themselves, no fears, no problems.
Except what they can sneak back past customs.
Hey, look at this fish.
Yes.
Look.
Hey, that's a shabunkin, isn't it?
You know, you ought to get an aquarium for your office.
No, nice.
Executives are supposed to find them restful.
A nice long holiday would be much better.
Look, Drew, I've been wanting to...
Look out!
Who was it?
I don't know, but it wasn't an accident. Do you realize what this means? The Underminds are all locked up, yet someone fired this.
There's a name missing from the list. Someone who wants to kill us.
Actually see anybody fire this thing at you?
Just a reflection in the tank. A hand, a finger on the trigger.
Somebody must have been following us.
Maybe. Just switch the lights on, Reynolds. No need for us to go on pretending it's a real grotto. Could have been a customer. Not much more prepossessing with the lights on. Could have been a customer with a jittery finger who got frightened when the gun went off and ran out.
That's just about as hollow as your voice sounds in here. You don't believe a word of it yourself.
We've got all the names on that list, Harry.
Must be one more. The list obviously wasn't complete.
Is there anybody else that might want to get you out of the way?
You mean for any reason unconnected with Undermind? Of course not.
Why are you so reluctant to investigate this thing further?
Because decisions have been taken. Taken at Downing Street level. And Sir Geoffrey Tillinger and I have been charged with carrying those decisions out.
Spoken like a true civil servant. Now, since you need convincing, let me talk to some of the people you're holding. Well, some of them may remember someone not on the list.
They wouldn't tell you even if they did.
One of them might.
Not as strongly undermined as they were. That's why they need the second signal.
All right. Let's question them.
Well, it's worth a try.
What are you doing, Killick? What are you doing, Killick?
There seems to be a fault in the scanner, sir.
Wasn't it working correctly this morning?
Yes, but I thought I'd run a test. I put a tape on feedback. Watch. See, it's not locking properly. So there's either a fault in the scanner, or else the adjustment isn't set properly, yet I set it myself.
Then it must be a faulty circuit. It won't hold the signal. That'll be disaster.
You haven't been using the scanner, have you, sir?
I? Certainly not. I've not touched it.
Somebody has. Somebody deliberately altered that setting.
Shall we get started?
There's been some mistake.
What do you mean, mistake?
Those aren't the people.
What?
They're not the same people we saw at the Hydro Hotel a week ago.
Oh, look
I
here.
didn't recognize a single one.
Neither do I.
You must be mad.
Now, can't you understand simple English? You've got the wrong people.
I've got the names on this list. This is the list that you showed to Geoffrey Tillinger?
Yes.
Well then, names, addresses, the lot. Now what the hell do you mean I've got the wrong people?
You've got substitutes. I don't know how it's happened, but you've been tricked somehow. And that signal's due the day after tomorrow.
Those undermines, they're still free somewhere.
Better get on to Sir Geoffrey.
Talon wants to work with you, sir.
Right? Yes? That's impossible. Are they sure? I'll come up at once. Killick, nobody is to come in here. Do you understand? From now on, no one is to be allowed inside this control room except you and me.
Does that mean you're going to take part in the jamming personally, sir?
I haven't forgotten everything, Killick.
Understand what happened, Sir Geoffrey?
Well, it's obvious what's happened. This list is a fake. It got switched somehow. It's the only explanation.
It's a clever copy, even the steam marks are the same. Only we could remember some of the names of the people who were at the Hydro.
Now, that girl, the blonde, she used to work in the bar at your club, Sir Geoffrey.
The new directors?
Yes, I saw her there, and then she turned up again at the Hydro. What was her name?
Veronica. Never knew her surname.
Veronica. I'll bet there's no Veronica on this list.
Yes, there is. Veronica Smith, St. John's Wood.
Oh, if that's the girl, I'd know her, all right.
And if it's not the same girl, it proves we're right about this list.
Can we bring her in?
Yes, of course.
Who did you give the list to, Sir Geoffrey?
I handed it to security as soon as you gave it to me.
So it must have been switched while it was in security's hands.
If that's what's happened, yes.
Who did you actually give it to?
Why, Talon, of course. He brought it back yesterday.
Smith.
You're Veronica Smith?
Yes.
This isn't Veronica.
Would it be too much trouble for someone to explain who I am supposed to be?
I'm afraid there's been a mistake, madam.
A mistake. I was practically dragged from my house by two... How
I'm
can-
afraid we owe you an apology.
An apology after being led off like a criminal?
You will be released immediately.
Look, I have been kept a prisoner with all these other people. I want an explanation.
Madam, I see that I must take you into my confidence.
PM will hit the roof when he hears about it. Yes, security does seem to have blundered. There'll be 24 suits for false arrest before this month is out.
They'll be compensated. That can all be done very discreetly. What's more important is the thought of all these undermines still at large. Don't know what damage they might do. And you can't stop this re-brainwashing now, can you? This signal?
Well, there's only one chance, as far as I can see it. That is to try to jam the signal over the whole country.
Is that possible? Can you do that?
It's a major operation, but I think it can be done.
What exactly would it involve? I can get you practically anything you ask for, except time.
That's the one thing we really need.
And what are the chief problems?
Every transmitter and relay station in the country will be needed. There'll have to be some sort of multiple link-up to the center.
You mean you'll have to blot out all TV and radio transmissions?
For the best part of an evening, yes.
The public won't like that.
It's an emergency.
We don't want to cause any panic.
A moment ago, you said I could have anything I asked for.
There's no alternative, I suppose?
None.
In that case, we'll have to put out some sort of cover story. Foreign interference or sunspot activity or something.
I'll try to think up something they'll swallow. Now, I must get back to that center. Yep. I'll be sleeping there from now on if you need me.
Sir Geoffrey?
Yes.
These people, the, Harriet.
Yes?
Could one of them have tampered with the list?
Now, S to Z. Here we are.
What do you expect to prove with that?
Whoever made up this list must have used the local phone directories.
And you really expect to find the real Veronica Smith in there?
Well, there's Route 203 in the St. John's Wood district. You could go to the addresses and check on them.
We could, but honestly, I don't think that it would help.
You don't think we fooled you, do you?
I don't know.
Here we are, Anne. Look, there's 3 already in that postal area. Miss V. Smith, flat 3, number 27.
There's a simpler way than that, you know, the club where Veronica Smith used to work. We don't just run after hunches, we follow what we already know.
These people have got to be found.
Where will you start?
I don't think it'll be of any benefit.
Look, all you can do is sit there talking about your blasted professionalism. Well, it hasn't worked very well so far, has it?
It may seem very pedantic to you, but we've evolved a system over the years which I think works very well.
Oh, he didn't even bother with the names I've written down. Just another damn civil servant for all his cloak and dagger routine. Unless he's something else.
Yes, we learnt a long time ago there weren't many people we could trust, didn't we? Is the Jeffrey back yet?
No, he's still over at Downing Street. You can stay here and wait for him if you like. Meanwhile, we've got a job and a half on our plates and 1,000,000 figures to compute.
Drew!
What is it?
Emmett!
Who?
Well, the mention of figures reminded me. There was a Professor Emmett at the Hydro Hotel, a mathematician at Edinburgh University. I was introduced to him.
Oh, here we are. P.J. Emmett, Glomerton Close, Lawn Market, Edinburgh.
Well, that's the one they arrested, so there must be another one whose name isn't on this list. Well, there are dozens of phone directories here. Perhaps there's one for Edinburgh. Canterbury, Nottingham, Bradford, Edinburgh. E. M. Etcham, Emmett, C.H. Emmett, P.J.
Now, Gilmerton Close. Now, that's the one on the list.
Emmett, P.
Now, here we are. Paul J. Emmett, 3 Lower Cumberland Street, Stockbridge, 5527.
What are you doing?
I'm looking up the direct dialing code.
Look, I'll get the operator. It's
No, it's
quicker.
much quicker this way. Here we are. 031, then STO, and then the number.
Well, what's the number?
5527. Hello. I wonder if I could speak to Professor Emmett, please. Oh, I see. Where? No, thank you. Goodbye. He's left Edinburgh. That was his housekeeper.
Where's he gone?
He's gone climbing in Skye.
You don't think all the Underminds have got together again, do you?
Let's find out.
Go to Scotland?
Or if we catch a plane to Glasgow, we can be at the climbing hostel where Emmett's staying by tonight. I'll call the airport.
Good evening, Professor Emmett. 'Tis a good evening. For the morning after. Oh, you mean the old Van Rouge bit, eh? Rosy, I'd say. The coolies look a bit frightening in this light. Like the end of the world. Oh, yes. Too bad there was a mist up there today. Still, I suppose you get your climbing tomorrow. Me, I'm for a nice, steady hike. When I'm not being kept busy chopping wood for the warden. Mrs. McLeod doesn't believe in letting her hostelers slack. You're a regular at this hostel, then? I've been here once before. Then you're not on vacation yet. I wanted to get away from the town for a day or two. Must have been a few town people who felt like you. Place is quite busy all of a sudden. It is? While you were out this morning, we had several newcomers. The fellow over there with the tent prefers canvas to a dormitory. The antisocial Londoner. From London? I think so. So the couple have just arrived.
Just come up from Glasgow, have you?
Yes, I'm sorry we got here so late.
Oh, never mind, with plenty beds. The ladies' dormitory's up the stairs, and the male dormitory's in the annex. You'll be wanting to make some supper?
Yes.
I got some nice fish cakes this afternoon, 6 pence each. And some fresh batteries from the baker.
Batteries?
Battery rice. Breakfast rolls.
Of course.
Can we shop later?
Of course, I'm open all hours. Just make yourselves at home. I've got quite a sprinkling of folks staying. A regular United Nations. Come away and I'll show you around.
Mrs. Mac.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cleary. Will you just put them down over there?
Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
I hope you've got your party piece ready.
I beg your pardon.
We're going to have a ceilidh.
A homemade concert. Everybody has to do their bit and entertain.
Oh, yes.
Have you asked Mr. Caper to join in?
He says he doesn't feel like company. He's going to bed.
Oh. Oh, well, I dare say Professor Emmett will give us a recitation or a song. Maybe he even plays the bagpipes. I've got a set of my late husband's.
Where is Professor Emmett?
Oh, he's outside. Oh, wouldn't it be great? Tackle him while he's on his way. Wait, see, I never knew this.
None of these people are at the Hydro. They're just ordinary hostelers.
Emmett might cooperate and tell us where to find the others.
Oh, come away, Mr. Harriet. Now, you first. What can
What do you
you
mean?
do?
I don't know anything.
Can you not give us a song?
I'm not a singer. I play the guitar.
Oh, great. Come away. Let him have it. Here we are.
Doing your work for you now, Commander.
My dear young woman, I don't know what you're talking about.
I must get through to you. Professor Emmett, don't you remember we met at the Hydro Hotel?
What do you want?
The names and addresses of the others.
The others?
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about. The other people at the Hydro.
I can't help you.
We can help you. I know you've been brainwashed, but the effect is weakening now. You're beginning to recover.
I can't talk to you.
Please, I just want the names and addresses of the other people before it's too late, before the second signal comes.
I'm afraid I've got to go to bed now. I have a stiff climb ahead of me in the morning.
Professor Emmett!
Someone else's turn.
Is this your first time on Sky?
Yes.
Mine too. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Todd Caper.
Hi, I'm Harriet. This is my brother-in-law, Drew.
Going climbing too?
Hiking. Haven't we met before?
I don't think so. Of course, London's a big place, but...
You're from London?
Yes. I know where I've seen you. We were on the same plane coming north. You know I hired a car in Glasgow. If I'd known you were coming here, I'd have given you both a lift.
People don't usually go hosteling with a car.
I just couldn't wait to get to this enchanted isle. Well, I think I'll turn in now. Good night.
Good
Good night.
Why should he have been on the same plane?
Why not?
What about Emmett?
He's too frightened he wouldn't talk.
We've got to get him to talk. I'll speak to him first thing in the morning. You mean Professor Emmett's gone?
He got up at 5:30. I made him a flask of tea and sandwiches to eat in the mountain.
When's he coming back?
Oh, I've no idea. Climbers sometimes get carried away and go too far to come back again before dark. But he's got a bivouac with him, so he can camp up there for the night.
Caper's gone too. His tent isn't there.
Oh, Emmett's the main worry. That signal's due tonight. If he stays up the mountain...
Sir Geoffrey's jamming doesn't work.
If you're looking for the professor, there he is. Now, if we have that rock face, look. He's just coming into sight at the Hoolish chimney, see?
If we get over the top of that shoulder, we can wait for him at the top of the face.
Is it that urgent?
It is. But he can't be more than half a mile away.
They won't move very quickly in that chimney. I wonder what they want him.
There must have some good reason to chase away up there after him.
Well, it's too tough on the leg muscles for me. I'm away across the flat heather.
The lazy man.
He's right below us. Professor Emmett! Professor Emmett!
Who's that?
We want to talk to you, Professor.
Go away. Leave me alone.
Professor Emmett, please listen.
Go away. I can't tell you anything. I've told you.
We know all about you, Professor. About the signals.
Leave me alone. I know what you want. I'm not allowed to tell you anything. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
He's scared stiff. Come on, Emmett. You're a man, a human being. You've got to tell us about the others. Keep down. Professor! You'd better get up here, fast!
Poor man. What a dreadful thing hanging up there.
Police have sent a rescue team into the chimney to get him out.
You've seen the police?
Yes, we made a statement.
They say the shot was fired from here. I just can't believe it.
Did you see anyone outside the hostel about that time?
I was away down in the village.
And Mr. Caper's gone.
He left the island in his car this morning, according to the police.
By what ferry?
About at 10 o'clock.
And he could have fired that rifle. Emmett was shot just after 9.
So on the other hand, it could have been Cleary.
You say he's booked out too?
Oh, I don't know about being booked out, but he took everything with him when he left the hostel. He said he'd be back for dinner time, but he never turned up. Oh, that'll be a phone call to London, Mr. Harriet. Hello? Will you just hold on a minute?
Thank you. Hello. Could I speak to Sir Geoffrey Tillinger, please? What?
Yes. About half an hour ago. It was an accident.
He's been killed.
Who would have done that?
Who knows? Talon, his own assistant. That man I was talking to. Well, even Caper could have got back to London in time. It's only a couple of hours from Renfrew. Now, we must be getting back, too.
You could catch the 6 o'clock plane from Glasgow.
Yeah, let's get packed.
I'll catch you a ferry for the...
Because of ionospheric disturbance due to occur shortly, we are now closing down broadcasting for the remainder of the evening. All television services are also fixed.
8:30. What time did the last signal come through?
9 o'clock. At least that was the time those dogs all over Britain got hysterical.
Tillinger said that the next signal would arrive about the same time. How was that worked out?
A space window on the sub-millimeter wave band. Sir Geoffrey and I calculated that if the signals arrive through such a window, then the Earth, following a constant orbit, must pass across the window at a constant time.
I hope Killick knows what he's doing.
He should do. He was Sir Geoffrey's chief assistant.
I haven't the same confidence in him I had in Tillinger. He's too young. This is a matter of supreme national importance, after all. You think it's going to work?
I don't know. Now, will you just let me get on with my job?
Keep away from there, sir.
Is this where it happened?
Yes.
Well, it would have been quick anyway.
Just like being struck by lightning.
Poor fellow, what was he thinking of?
He didn't get in there by accident, you know.
Funny thing to be happening here, sir.
In this building?
Yes, we haven't got this lot off by a long chalk.
But if the Underminds got in here and killed Tillinger, then they could...
I've got men all over the building. Every floor and entrance is being watched.
Lovely. And who's watching the watchers? Yes? It's for you, Talon.
Sir Allen? Yes, Reynolds. The Harriets? Hang on.
The Harriets?
Yes, they want to come up. Do you think it's wise to have them here at this time?
No, they've no right in here.
Reynolds? No one's to be allowed in. That includes the Harriets.
No one's allowed in here tonight.
Look, we've got vital information.
I'm sorry, it's Mr. Talon's orders.
You haven't seen this.
What is it?
You better read it.
How will you tell when the signal arrives?
See that moving dot? It will start to describe a parabola, which will increase in height as the signal gets stronger. When it reaches this line, our computer orders the strength and frequency of our jamming signal.
Now, that's what we've got to watch. Will there be any warning?
None.
I wondered if you'd get here, Harriet. Stand back. You put your big foot right on the welcome mat, old man.
What's that? That's the alarm in Tillinger's office.
You stay here, I'll see what it is.
You killed Emmett.
You're not going to believe this.
You killed him to stop him talking.
Please, Mrs. Harriet, we're really all on the same side, you know.
Are we?
Remember Fenway? Well, I work with him. Well, not with him exactly, but our departments overlap, like our interest in Undermind.
Naturally, you'd know about Fenway.
My interest in you started at the time of the MP incident. Then there was that IRA affair and the unfortunate business of your friend Professor Randolph of Kimberley Vale.
Oh, you know a lot.
I see you're still unconvinced. Now, don't come any nearer.
I suppose you're some sort of leader.
Of Undermind.
That's why you know so much. There had to be a top man.
How did you get in?
Stay there, Alan.
Who are you?
Caper. We haven't got much time left. It's 5 minutes to 9. You see, Harriet, as I said, we're all on the same side. How do you think you got out of that steam room at the Hydro Hotel? You've been on the edges of this thing for quite a long time.
Nobody told me that your department was in on this.
You can't trust anyone these days. I don't think Harriet here trusts you, for instance.
Well, someone killed Tillinger. Someone here.
Who's in the control room?
Killick and the PM secretary, Raisin.
Let's get down there.
It's almost 9. The signal's due.
Anything happened, did Killick?
Quiet! Please, everybody. Mr. Talon, would you stand by that relay switch? It's the white one. Any minute now, we should be... Hello? Is that it? No. Wait. Wait, Talon, not yet. I'll give you the word.
Right. Don't touch that switch, Talon. Leave it. Mr. Caper, isn't it? Another branch of security, I suppose.
I thought you were the one.
I discovered your tape recorder. That's when I decided to disappear.
You. Undermind.
The first. Harriet, the very first. I said stay where you are, Talon. That signal must come through.
How did you first make contact?
6 months ago, I was doing some research with radio telescopes. It was through me they learned there are humans who can hear ultrasonic frequencies.
It was you who tried to kill us the other day.
That was Cleary. I believe you ran across him in Skye. You and your sister-in-law were likely to discover my substitute list. You should have been killed at the Hydra.
That's when things started to go wrong.
I've managed to retrieve the situation.
Whose body did they find in there?
Cleary, again, useful fellow. He gained me these last few hours.
What else can you gain?
We shall gain a bridgehead.
There's 24 of you.
It's a start. In a year, there will be, say, 2 million of us. These signals can be made audible to everyone.
What good will it do? You're just gaining control of people.
Eventually, we shall build a reception station, more complex than anything you can contemplate. And then, Harriet, our physical occupation of this planet will begin. We shall transmit living matter.
You mean people?
As I said, you're dealing with something too big for your limited human imaginations to grasp.
Here it is. Tell him the switch.
Say, Talon! You! No! Switch, Shut off the power! Can't switch off!
That's it then.
Frank says they're having those ear operations right away.
Frank?
Frank Talon.
Funny his name should be Frank. It all started with Frank. Your husband. If he hadn't been undermined, we'd never been mixed up in all this.
No, I suppose not. It seems so long ago now.
You mean since Frank?
Yes.
It's not so long.
But a lot's happened in that time. We're living in an unreal situation. Time's come for us to live our own lives a bit.
Yes, you're quite right.
You sure you don't mind about the holiday?
Of course not. Of course I don't mind. And there he is.
I bet your skin died much better without me.
Sure.
And I'm sure Corsica will be marvellous.
Send you a postcard.
Hello.
Sorry I'm late, Anne. I collected the theatre tickets on the way. Harriet?
Hello, Talon.
Off to Corsica soon?
Yes, in a couple of days.
You better be off.
See you when you get back then.
I'll ring you. Well, maybe we can have dinner or something.